my favorite lesson in the roadmap to success, which is the user journey. Now, even though you think that you purchase things at random, so when you go and buy a pencil, or you buy something from Amazon, or you buy something from the grocery store, or buy a new top, even though you think that you purchase those things at random, there is actually a very specific psychological process that you're guided through, or that you already know in order to get from point A to checking out. So for example, either the company will walk you through it, or you'll already know. So when you go to Amazon, for example, you get to the page, the very first thing you see on Amazon is a little search bar at the top. You can search for it. You see items in front of you that may be items that are relevant to you, items that you've purchased in the past that you may want to purchase again. When you walk in, when you go into the Amazon page, you look at it and you know, I'm going to search for this item. I'm going to find the item. I'm going to look for the item that I want. I'm going to click on that item. Then I'm going to add it to my cart. Then I'm going to check out. There's a very specific process that you go through. Now with Amazon, it's something that we've been using for a very long time now. So for the most part, we already know how to shop on Amazon. We know how to shop on Instacart. We know how to shop on a lot of these things because we've had them for quite some time. And because the companies have spent a great deal of money and time making sure that there are signposts at every step along the way to point you in the right direction, to make sure that you don't fall off the path that they want you to be on. Okay, it's really very important to recognize that they have a path they have decided that they want you on. They're going to push you down that path, and they want to make sure that you don't fall off of it. Now, you as a user can always choose to close your tab, go to a different page, go to a different website, pick up your phone and do something else. That is something that can definitely happen, but it will happen significantly less if you create a guided path versus if you just throw out a lot of things out there and let your audience decide what they want to pick. You will lose significantly more people that way versus the way where you're giving people the directions, right? Now, the user journey is the secret as to why some people succeed and some people don't, because you can do the exact same thing as someone else is doing. The same going live, you can go live at the same time, you can sell the same things, you can have the same product, and you can be equally as funny and engaging online. But one person could see a number of sales and growth in their business while another person may struggle. And that is almost always a result of an incomplete user journey, or a user journey that has a lot of holes in it that people are falling through. Because either people are walking down a path that you specifically design and have made sure that there's no holes for them to fall through, or they're going to amble around, get lost and confused people will never click on something. They will usually leave and go someplace else where they know they won't be confused. You're going to lose people if you give them too many options. Now you get to decide which one of those things you're going to do. Are you going to let them amble around aimlessly, or are you going to tell them where to go? Just like we talked about in lesson 1. So in this, we're going to talk about what that user journey does for you and how that looks. The added benefit of the user journey is this, and this is actually a really cool benefit, is that over the years, you've purchased a lot of courses and you have built your business with email lists and with a course from one person here and a piece of software there and so many things. And you've got a chatbot, but you get all of these things together and you're like, wait a minute, but it's not working. Why is my business not working? Right? That is usually the problem, right? Why is my business not working? And the user journey is the reason. It's the missing step. When you put the user journey in place, suddenly a lot of these things that you've already spent money on, that you worry that you may have wasted money on, will start to bear fruit. And now you'll start to see the return on the money that you invested there. So it will validate your good decision from before that you may have been questioning already. So it helps to build your confidence a lot when you have a user journey that you understand, because it starts to bring in other things that you've already done and create value out of them, where right now you may be questioning their value. I want you to think about it in terms of like a pathway across a river. If you have a lot of stones, one here, one there, one down here, one over there, they're all in the right place to where somebody could walk across if they were all in one row. But if they're so far apart, there's no way for somebody to jump from rock to rock to rock. So what you're going to do is you're going to actually take your rocks, you're going to put them together as one seamless journey so you can get people across from hi, I'm a stranger to checking out. Something to keep in mind though is that once you figure out your user journey and you go through it and you plug all the holes and everything's beautiful, you are going to want to come back and look at it again every 6 months or so, just to make sure that your user journey is still hole free and that people are still able to get across. Because the last thing that you want to have happen is for you to be doing all of your work to find new customers and figure out that they're falling through the holes in your user journey, because that would be very unfortunate. Okay. All right. So the first question is what does your user journey look like? How do you figure that out? So the first thing you do is you want to go to your very first step in your user journey. So the first step is going to usually be social media. It's going to be a post that you made on social media. You might even use your business page. So you might use your business page or a post that you made on social media, or wherever it is that you would send people when you first meet them, like maybe your link tree or something like that, right? So now, again, Linktree is a very bad next step, but I know that a lot of people do use Linktree. And so I want to say that if that's what your next step is, make sure that you have that be that next step, okay? Then I want you to move a step forward. Ask yourself, do I understand what's happening here on the screen that I'm at? If I'm a complete stranger, I know nothing about this person, do I know why I am here? Do I know what is happening on this page? Can I tell what I'm supposed to do next? Is it obvious to me what I'm supposed to do next? Now, if it is not obvious, if it is not obvious who you are, why I'm here, the value that you provide, what I'm supposed to do next, then you are losing people. Okay. So with each step that you go down, so like you'll start by looking at your cover photo. Let's say you realize your cover photo is the problem. Then you're going to go into stage one, and you're going to go through the exercise for your cover photo, and you're going to update your cover photo and bring it back in here. Repair the cover photo so that people now know why they're here and what they're doing. If this is a website or if this is a link tree, there's nothing you're going to be able to do for a link tree. The link trees generally tend to be very confusing spaces. But if it's your website, then you might need to have a different photo as your hero image or different text up there to make it clearer. But ultimately, if you're losing people right as they come to your front page because they don't know what you're doing or they don't know why they're there or what they're supposed to do next, then that's an easy plug to fix. Okay. Then you scroll down. Do they know what you sell? Do they know how it helps them? If they chose at this moment to buy, at this very moment when they're looking at whatever it is, if they're like, I want to buy this now, what would happen? Click on it. Can they go? Do they know where to buy from? Do they know where the next step is? These are all important things to look at. And one of the most difficult things that I've ever observed is that for many business owners, when I go to their pages and I look at their posts, they have a lot of posts about their products, but their products are not actually selling anything. They're not actually selling it. It's just a picture, and there's no way to actually buy. It's a picture of somebody wearing something saying we have something in stock. No place to click, nowhere to go to buy, no way to tell me how it fits, nothing. So there's no actual selling happening as much as there's just an image on the page that basically just says, here it is, it exists, okay? One of the things that you're doing is looking at each step very slowly and seeing where people are getting confused. Where are they getting stuck, right? If you don't know where in this journey you're losing people, are you losing people at the checkout? Are you losing people when you add people things to cart? Are you losing people in the post itself because there's nowhere for them to go? Like, where are you losing them? If you don't know where you're actually losing them, then all problems look like you don't have enough customers. And then the solution for that is usually ads. Okay. So almost every person who comes to me says, I have trouble finding customers. I need to do Facebook ads. And after going through their work, I find that they're nowhere near ready for Facebook ads. If they got Facebook ads, they would just be spending a lot of money on things to get a lot of people to come to their site that they would end up losing anyway. So now they're paying for no results instead of just getting no results for free. The user journey is a critical aspect, right? So you have to go down and make sure, go down the list and make sure that there are no holes, right? There are a number of case studies provided as part of this training to show you where people get lost. So I've done a user journey study for my own page. I've done a user journey study for Amy Lee Westervelt. I wanted to pick two people who are coaches who are already running what you would consider to be a successful business, having customers coming in and out. And I wanted to show you that even with a successful business that makes income, you can have this problem, and that if you plug those holes, then you can have an even more successful business where you make even more money and have even less issues to deal with in terms of finances or finding customers and so on, right? And that comes from plugging these holes. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is what's the journey that people take? Okay, so where do they start their journey? They'll start on Instagram, they'll start on Facebook, they'll start on podcasts. You're going to have them all over the place because over the course of time, as you grow your business and you start to find more avenues to find people, you are going to be finding people in a number of different places. Okay. So the first thing you want to make sure is that you have one destination that you're sending them to, no matter where they come from. So if they're coming from Facebook, Instagram, social media, other kinds, Clubhouse, a conversation that you had, a business card, it doesn't really matter. You're sending them all to one place that you've decided what that place is. Okay. So that place might be your business page. That place might be your website. We're going to use business page as the example for as we go through this, because that's usually how a lot of my clients end up getting found and how they grow their business. So this will be the most effective way to train, but this can be applied in many other ways. So if you are going to give people you're basically, okay, you're going out and you're sending people places, right? And the one place that I'm going to say we're going to send them to the business page. Now, I want to pause for a second because a lot of people will send their prospects to Linktree. So if they meet somebody at an event with a business card, they give them the business card, it has a link on it, they go to the link and it's just a Linktree with like 5 or 6 different links. Here's my Instagram, here's my Facebook, here's how you buy from me, here's my email list, here's a list of a variety of things. I cannot stress enough how bad of an idea it is to have Linktree be your first step for your funnel. Your audience doesn't know anything about your business or why they want to work with you or how you can help them or how good you are at what you do. They don't know, like, and trust you. They are still at a very early stage in the relationship, which means that they are still new and confused and just trying to figure things out. And they're hoping that what you've told them, whatever you've told them, is going to be helpful, but they are expecting to be explained, handheld, taken down the garden path, as it were. If you send them to a link tree, you're basically giving them 5 or 6 links that now they have to decide where they go next. These people are not experts in your business. They don't know where to go next. And so they're going to look, they're going to see 5 choices. They're not going to know which ones to pick. And as a human being, we all tend to get confused or upset and we don't want to make the wrong choice, because if we make the wrong choice, our subconscious thinks that that's a very big problem. So rather than make a wrong choice, people will opt to not make a choice at all and they'll just leave the page. So you will lose a significant number of people if you have Linktree being your first step or even your second step in your funnel. The only time I recommend using Linktree is if you know who your audience is and you don't care about losing them. If you know that the person that I'm handing this to may not go, that I'm going to lose 98.7% of people by doing this, but I'm going to make the choice to do this because I know that my Linktree is clear enough that it's going to be fine, or I have enough customers to where it doesn't really matter, right? But that is a choice that you're making. People like Taylor Swift and coaches who make millions and millions of dollars a year, they use Linktree and they can afford to use Linktree because they can afford to turn customers away because they're really, really niching down and they don't care if they lose people into the confused part of the loser journey because they know the user journey, and they don't care if they lose people as part of the user journey because they know they're getting enough customers. So that's really going to be your issue, is if you use Linktree, then you are really asking to lose a significant number of your audience before they even have a chance to know who you are. Okay. So that's the number one most important thing, is to just don't use Linktree or anything like it. So Linktree, Campsite, Aweber has something for it. There's a lot of different things that you can use, which are basically a list of links. I think you can do that for Instagram where you have a link in bio, all of those kinds of things. Those are all only useful if you are okay with losing your audience along the way because they get confused, okay? And you will lose a large number of people in that way, okay? A devoted user following is more likely to continue. Now, the first thing to keep in mind is, you heard me say that 97.8 number. 97.8% of people you lose the second they come to your page, just right off the bat. That is a standard number. Almost all sites do that. There are very few sites that do not lose people immediately, okay? Your cover photo is going to be what tells people what you do and what their next steps are. So make sure that your cover photo is clear, and keep in mind that your cover photo is not there to get people to buy. It's just trying to get them not to leave. Okay. So for most business owners, we're trying to create a cover photo that's going to tell them everything that they need to know so that they'll buy from us at their next step. That's not going to happen. The next step needs to just be, please stay on my page 3 more seconds. Please stay on my page 3 more seconds. And after you've gotten them to stay on your page for 10 times 3 more seconds, then they are at a space where they're likely to convert. But it's a process, and you can't rush the process by simply having the word buy now come sooner. It's not going to make it happen any faster. Now, your goal, as we said, is to keep people on the page for 3 seconds longer, 3 seconds longer, 3 seconds longer, until we get to about 30 seconds. Now, you need a way for them to do something on your page that is not buying. So it's reading your post, whether it be a post about, something that's going on in your life, whether it's an educational post where it's like, it's I know what I'm talking about post, or did we just become best friends post. Those are good ones for people to engage in, spend a little bit of time on, get to know you a little bit better without them having to actually buy from you. As long as you only give them the 2 options, buy from me or leave, most people are just going to leave. If you give them a third option, which is just to hang around and engage and respond, they will do that more likely, which means they'll get deeper into your funnel, which makes them more likely to shop. Okay. So the great idea of having this third option is that it actually allows you to capture a huge bucket of people that you are losing right now as part of that 97.8% of people, because they only have the option of hi or buy, right? Buy or leave. Okay, so if your user journey right now, and this is something important to think about, if you look through your user journey and you think to yourself, well, my customer Jackie could get through this. She knows how to buy. That's great. She would go through all of this, no problem, right? Then you are catering to your warmest customer. Okay, your warmest customer. Because when you get people coming to your page, you've got three different types of customers. You've got your really warm customers who are just coming in to like grab something. You've got your slightly cool customers who don't know anything about you, but they're not going to bounce immediately. They could be customers, right? Within that group are going to be a lot of really good customers. And then you're going to have the third set of people who are just like, I come in, I see it, I leave, I'm gone. I'm going to bounce, right? And these are people who are going to bounce no matter what, because we're talking about behaviors, not actions, okay? So now you have your three people. Your warmest market is always going to go forward no matter how challenging you make it because they adore you. So make it as challenging as you want for them. Who cares? They're going to buy from you. This is why you usually find that you have the same few shoppers over and over again, because these are the ones who figured out how to buy from you, and so they're just continuing the process. Meanwhile, you have this second set of people, and this second set of people are people who could become your customers. They might be interested, but these are not people who are into what you're doing yet. They don't necessarily understand it. They're kind of just, side drive. Oh, look, I see that. Oh, look, I see that. And it's your job to capture their interest or to get their attention by using the posts that we talked about in stage one and in stage two. So that's going to be what gets their attention, builds those relationships, and then ultimately will keep them going further down the user journey. If you do not put these pieces in place, then you are only catering to the warmest part of your market, which means you will almost always see a decrease in sales over time and not an increase, just because 5% of your customers will churn over year to year. So that is, again, a given retail statistic. 5% of customers on average are returned from year to year. So if your user journey only caters to the people who are the warmest of markets, who are already knowing how to buy from you, then over time you're going to lose 5% of those people. So you will only go downhill from there. In order for you to be able to actually get more people, your user journey needs to be cleaned up, plug those holes, and you need to be talking to the people who are least likely to convert, but not the ones who will never convert, right? You're not trying to get the ones who are going to never convert, because those people aren't even the people in your audience. What you're looking for is people who are part of your audience, but are barely engaged, barely interested. And those are the people that are going to get more interested by the slow work that we're doing, but would be turned off by the really quick buy now thing that we have. Now, so the key here is to slow it down a little. Okay. Most of us are going too fast. I need you to think about your business page and your website as a date. As the first time I come to your site, the first thing we're having a date. And you don't rip my clothes off and have sex with me on a dining table on my first date at the restaurant, right? Well, usually there's flowers, there's wine, there's conversation, there's chemistry. There's a whole thing that happens before we're like, oh my God, let's get home and rip our clothes off, right? There's a whole process that happens between there. We need to go through that process. Yes, you are definitely going to find some people who are DTF right away. They're like, really want to hang out with you right now. And that is perfect and that's great. But that's going to be the smallest number of people. Most people want to be wined and dined. Okay. So it is really important for you to wine and dine your audience, right? So you'll need an in-between option. That way you can get the people who could convert, but are not quite ready yet. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to go into the workbook, and I want you to take a look at the user journey checklist. Now that you know what you're looking for, which is clarity about what it is that is happening on this space, what I'm supposed to do next, who you are, some of this basic stuff that people are looking for, I want you to check out the user journey case studies. They're about 20 minutes each. Take a look, watch them at your leisure. There's 3 or 4 of them. And we'll add more, but I want you to watch them so that you can start to see what other people's pages look like, but also get an idea of where some of those holes show up, and then use the user journey checklist in the guidebook to map your own user journey, and then bring that to the squad, and then we can help you workshop what your next steps are. Bring it to office hours. We can help you workshop what your next steps are. This is actually going to be, the user journey checklist is actually an incredibly powerful tool, because it is going to be one of the first troubleshooting tools that you use when you discover that your business page is struggling or that you're not getting enough sales, because more often than not, it's because of your user journey. So you pull out the user journey checklist and you go down the user journey, you will usually find the problem that you have in your business very quickly as you're running down that. Okay. So let's get started. Head over to the guidebook and get your homework going.